everybody, welcome to another week of Available Work. I'm Commissioner Joe Esparza here at TWC. And so today we have a series of mini episodes that we're calling Your Business Brief. And a lot of these were recorded during our workforce conference last year. So you're going to hear funny sound as far as the sound quality is great. I still think they're pretty good. But you'll probably hear some background noise there too. But I was very excited. We had a whole bunch of employers and stakeholders all in the same room, and I tried to pester enough of them to sit down with me so that, they were recorded. We've got a good range of guests, everyone from workforce board leaders, some EDs, to employers and industry leaders, and also to some specific individuals I think are just great people and doing great things for our veterans community and for our reinforcing our vocational rehabilitation. Also, some good examples of employers using resources that the state provides. So I hope these are very helpful to you. They're very quick, so you'll get in and out of these here pretty quick. This week features a discussion with Dale Robertson, Vice President of Business Development at the Texas Economic Development Corporation, and Bryan Snoddy, Director of Civil Rights Division here at our very own Texas Workforce Commission. Thanks, Bryan, for sitting with us. So, let's get on with the business brief. Dale, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. What's your favorite color?
Hey, my name is Dale Robertson. I'm from Austin, Texas. Work for the Texas Economic Development Corporation.
That's right.
Favorite color? I don't know. Lately it's been green.
It's green. It's red and green here. We're at the Gaylord Texan Hotel at our, obviously at our conference, and it's all Christmas, man. So I guess we should probably say that we're recording like early December, but this may come out in the next couple of weeks. And
okay.
Like I said, we're just grabbing people, having a good conversation. So we just kind of told everybody about this podcast that we're actually live on Spotify. And I think our first episode should be with your boss.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
so we can talk about them.
Sure can.
Dale, tell us what you do for the Economic Development Corporation, and just a little bit more about kind of what y'all been busy with.
Wow. Well, thanks for having me on the conference.
Yeah. You walked by.
Podcast. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and my first time being on one.
It's funny hearing yourself. Isn't it?
It is. I'm gonna
still getting used to it.
Spotify is like my always on.
Yeah.
But so great. Congratulations on doing this. It's a wonderful new opportunity and way to communicate. So I work at the Texas Economic Development Corporation. My title there is Vice President for Business Development.
Uh-huh.
So in my role there, I'm basically working to continue to grow involvement with the Economic Development Corporation.
Yeah.
Whether that's including recruiting more workforce boards to become part of what we're doing, as well as institutes of higher education, community colleges and so forth, and other businesses across the state. I serve as a resource also for businesses that want to come to Texas or already in Texas and looking for resources.
Sure. Yeah. So
yeah,
they're kind of getting the toe in the water about Texas, and
exactly.
They come to you to talk about it.
Yep. One of my colleagues describes this as like the front door, so to speak.
Okay.
And so oftentimes, because we are responsible for marketing Texas, both domestically and internationally.
It's a fun job.
So after we've done we've done some of our mission trips and so forth, then we may have follow-up contacts. In many cases, we do.
Yeah.
Because of those mission trips, and those guys want to know, whether individuals or companies, businesses, that want to know, hey, why should we come to Texas, or what are the opportunities in Texas for us? And I'm connecting them with all the resources. They want to know workforce, I'm sending Workforce Commission. Yeah. If they want to know about incentive programs, the Texas Enterprise Fund, any of those types of programs, connecting them with the the Economic Development and Tourism Office, the Governor's Office of Economic Development and Tourism. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And then the other resources that we may have across the state. Secretary of State, if they want to incorporate or figure that kind of stuff out, all that stuff too.
Yeah, we hand them off to make sure that they're filing and they're getting all their information back from the state, and that they're fully on board. Well, that'll be good. What are some of the hot spots you guys have been in? I know you can't talk about specific employers or anything. That's all pretty sealed tight for a while. But obviously semiconductor stuff is coming. We keep seeing a lot about space and innovation and aviation. What are some other industries that you're seeing come into different parts of the regions of the state?
Well, we're really interested in the artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And what's happening there, and a lot of that takes a lot of energy. A lot of the data centers and so forth that are being put together or built across the state. More and more of those are expressing interest in the state.
Yeah.
We're also, as you mentioned, the semiconductors. There are a lot of companies. We were in South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
In July.
Yeah.
And a number of those companies that are in that space, and other industries as well, express so much interest in what Texas is doing, particularly with Texas's own CHIPS Act, and then with the semiconductor, the CHIPS office that we have as a part of the economic development and tourism. So again, a lot of engagement in those areas, and space with the new Space Commission. We've met with those guys as well there, and what their mission is in terms of continuing to build not only the SpaceXs that are in the States, the Blue Origins and so forth, but all the supporting or supplier companies that are engaged in that. So we're seeing a lot in all three of those spaces. But then you also have a lot of inquiries sometimes just about agriculture. Someone wants to source sunflower seeds so they can, instead of importing that to make oil, they want to get it from somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, are we seeing more dairy? I think up in the Panhandle.
Dairy, yeah. I haven't seen a lot of that since I've been in this job, but I remember when I was at TWC, and as you all know, I ran the Skills Development Fund program for a lot of times, and we had quite a bit of dairy opportunities come into the state. Yeah, Panhandle. Yeah, definitely. Outside of Lubbock, all those areas. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, Dale, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Like I said, we always appreciate working with you guys. I don't know if you know this, but Bonnie Downs is our co-host, so she comes over to the office.
Bonnie's great.
Yeah, and we try to kick these things. We're going to try to kick these things out every 2 weeks. So if you ever want to jump over and just come on over with her, we could heckle.
That would be fun. Yeah, I enjoy working with Bonnie quite a bit too. So.
Well, you guys got a great team. I think you guys probably have a Christmas party coming up. Hopefully we'll see y'all over there on that side too.
Come on, it's the holiday, 'tis the season. Come on over.
Absolutely.
Hang out with us.
Dale, thanks for coming to the conference.
Welcome.
And I know you guys are working with all of our workforce boards. And good luck. They're great. It's a great team of folks all across the state. All of our 28 boards. So anything that we can do to help you guys, always let us know. And Aaron's always obviously, been a strong supporter of us, and he's always helping out with good ideas and resources to keep us moving.
Oh,
so
for sure. Well,
we appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dale. Have a good one.
Glad to be back around my colleagues here, former colleagues and current colleagues.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Have a good rest of the conference.
Thank you. You all too.
Hey, everybody. We've got Bryan Snoddy from our Civil Rights Division here at Texas Workforce Commission, and we pulled him in. We just got finished eating some sliders. But Bryan, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your work and how long you've been with TWC. A little bit about the Civil Rights Division, all the fun stuff we get to do.
Great. I started almost 6 years ago. I started working in a commission office, much like yours, under Andres Alcantar. He hired me on, and just before he departed, he hired me to the agency. So I worked in the commission office for around 9 months, and then I made a transition over to the ops side of the house as a civil rights assistant director under Lowell Kegg.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't realize Lowell was about to depart.
Oh, good.
Office.
Okay, so Lowell was the director.
He was the director.
Gotcha.
He hired me as assistant director.
Yeah.
He hung up for about 2 months, and then he took off for another position and said, "Well, here's the keys. You've got the baby here." And I think that was in August and September timeframe of 2019.
Yeah. Well, good old Lowell. He's still around. He's still hanging in TWC world.
So the great news is, when Lowell handed the keys to me for Civil Rights Division, there was a lot of things that were done well. I had a good platform to work from, but there were also a lot of things still to do. And so he gave me the flexibility and the opportunity to move from a good station, a good foundation, and to really take it to the next level. So we were able to, as I call it, translate the work that we do into real tangible benefits and drive value to our customers.
Yeah.
And so, am I picking up back there?
Oh, yeah. You can talk a little bit closer to your microphone. That's all right. Bryan, what I want to tell you is what I've learned very quickly in the first couple of meetings that we had, and you brought your crew in. You run that shop very efficiently, and to my add, and it didn't surprise me to find out that obviously you're a veteran. We've got quite a few veterans that work in your shop, You approach this whole thing very mechanically, very efficiently. Could you tell us a little about what daily, like kind of the daily numbers, the daily work that that the division looks
Sure,
at?
and let me start off with saying I'm very proud to have about 40% of veterans in the shop. I think it's very important.
Yeah, it shows.
We've got Marines, Navy, Army. I think the only person we haven't had is a Coastie so far, but I'm Air Force. So we'll work on that. But on a daily basis, one of the things we really try to do is make sure we have an appropriate ops tempo. I'll use some military terms. I think you'll be familiar with it. But one of the things we're trying to do really is to make sure that we do work on a schedule that's very efficient for our clients, what we call our customers and our stakeholders.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure what we're doing is we don't waste time, energy, or attention. Those are the three things that we have that we can control. And so we really focus on making sure we have dynamic control of those factors so we can maximize the value we're going to drive for those stakeholders. One of the things that means is anytime we have a situation or an opportunity to reduce waste, eliminate efforts that aren't needed, we're going to do that. That's one of the primary factors out there. And then I think, we've talked before about how CRD was so small that really gave us a chance to be a laboratory for experimentation and for piloting. And so we really treated CRD like in some ways, a startup. And we ran it like a startup. So one of the things we want to do is change the zeitgeist, that the mental aptitude of the team there, so that they were able to make changes much more rapidly than most people would probably expect in government.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we've done is be able to take the opportunity to run pilots consistently over the course of years and cycles.
Okay.
Now, one of the things we've done and since we started off is we used to start off every year for a new roadmap. That new roadmap, the first iterations were, I think, the cell phone only pilot, essentially trying to get us out from behind the desk because just being behind the desk was not the work.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about what the actual casework. Y'all respond to complaints, civil rights cases as far as discrimination.
Sure, we have essentially four primary functions that we do. We have two enforcement wings. We have the equal employment wing. It's for the state of Texas, some of those 15.5 million workers in the civilian workforce population. And then we also have the fair housing component. We're looking at rent, lease, purchase, or any aspect of housing for the other 10 million civilian workforce, civilian households. In addition to that, we have a training component that requires us to provide training, technical assistance for fair housing providers, employers, employees. And then in addition to that, we also do EEO policy reviews for all the state agencies in the state of Texas on a 6-year cycle. And so that really kind of has a large footprint. We have a lot of responsibility, even though we have a pretty small team.
Yeah. Do employers request that training? Is that kind of a resource that we provide?
Absolutely. The numbers we've had for training has gone up year after year.
That's great.
We've made that free. It's part of the contract that we have with EEOC. It allows us to go out and provide them with that assistance ahead of time.
Yeah.
Our unit, it's part of a tactical and really a strategic play that we've made is we know that we cannot enforce our way into compliance, and we really don't want to.
Yeah.
The real understanding for us and the real breakthrough came when we decided that what we want to do is make sure that we're providing employees and housing providers and others with the tools they need to be in compliance and to be successful. And that way, now we're not in the sort of the whack-a-mole business. We're in the success business.
That's right, Bryan. Let's talk about AI now. Looking forward, are y'all looking at any AI technology to kind of help you out? I think I tee up this question because I know that there is cases of I don't know. I want to be careful with saying this because like fraud, maybe,
right?
Filing, fraudulent filings or anything like that. Maybe that's kind of where I'm trying to take us down the AI road about what you guys could possibly use that technology for.
I mean, AI is very good at doing things that computers can do very rapidly.
Sure.
And so what we really try to do is make sure that we're able to delineate between the things that computers can do very well and what humans can do very well. And so one of the things we look at is anytime we're talking about intake and the caseload, some of those factors are very, very rote and systematic, and we can utilize AI systems to help us delineate between a fraudster, somebody engaged in sort of nefarious activity, and those that are honest brokers. And so we utilize that in that regard. What I'd say, though, anytime we're talking about AI, you still have to have a good foundation to start from. You really have to have some type of a data strategy. And so we were very intentional about creating a personalized data strategy for us that allowed us to be able to, once again, we want to drive value to our customers and stakeholders. And so we need that data in a format so that when we apply the AI, it actually gives us something good. Just like in any other computer situation, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. But if you have a stable, well-designed platform, you can draw some pretty good insights using AI. Now, one of the tenets that we operate off of is that AI itself is not magic.
Right.
AI is just a tool.
Sure.
So we use it appropriately. We use it with a level of discretion we think is appropriate.
Sure.
I'd say for every 300 to 400 cases or use cases we identify, we probably only put 3 to 4 into production.
That's good to know. Bryan, seriously, thank you so much for joining us here today. Just kind of a very high-level look at our Civil Rights Division, all the great work that you guys are doing. Definitely look forward to maybe bringing you on again at a later date for some episodes further down the line. But seriously, always good to work with Federal Veteran. You guys, like I told you, you guys are doing a great job. And you're just highly efficient, so I appreciate all the hard work you guys are doing.
I appreciate it. Our technology and AI has really helped us. We've had record production, both for housing and employment this year.
Only getting better, right?
Really proud of the team, though. It still doesn't happen without a really good team, and also without good leadership and support, from your team as well. We're always happy to coordinate and keep partnered up.
Yeah, you got any questions? You can call Tommy.
All right.
Thanks, Bryan. Have a good rest of the conference.
All right, thank you.